They eventually cut his ear off.
Paying a kidnapper, tax deductible.
No other communication was made.
You gotta stick to the lie.
The crime of the century. Hi.
Hi.
Welcome. There has been quite a bit of action on the news
There has
lately.
been.
And it's very rare that we talk about something that is ongoing. Like, you know, that's just
Current events.
Yeah, current events aren't really our jam on this channel. But Nancy Guthrie, and it's like, as of today, it's like day 13 of her missing. And it's been dubbed a kidnapping at this point because there have been ransom notes. And so
someone's missing.
yeah, but I mean, usually people go missing, but they're just missing. This is like, there have been ransom notes. Some have been false. Others have been deemed real. So at this point, it's still been deemed a kidnapping.
Okay.
So because of that, now we're not going to get too deep into all the investigation and everything, because like we said, it's ongoing. Stuff is always coming out. So obviously by the time this gets up, she could be found, you know, whatever, we don't know. But it did get us thinking about kidnapping and like ransom and
us thinking about that, or you thinking about that?
us.
Yeah, no, we talk about it.
Yeah.
But so what do you think's going on with the current one that you were just talking about? Give me your speculation. Let's see if you nail it. By the time this goes up, let's see if you nailed it.
Honestly, I don't know. It's so convoluted. Like, as of this morning, they were saying it was probably or possibly a home invasion gone wrong. Like, all these things. Who knows?
Not me.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody knows at this point. But I just think the whole concept of kidnapping and ransom is so bizarre, but it's a thing, and it was like really big in like in Italy,
really,
in like the 60s, 70s, like the mafia would do a lot of kidnappings and
for ransom, or just for killing, for ransom,
things like that. So, so we thought we would go back and talk about some of the most like famous kidnappings of like well-known people or well-known families, that kind of thing. So I have notes.
I'm excited because I have no idea what this is. I love it when this happens.
Okay.
These are good.
All right, so our first is going to be the infamous John Paul Getty III.
Oh.
So if you've not, this actually inspired a movie called All the Money in the World. If you haven't seen it, I definitely recommend you watch it.
I've not seen it.
Okay, so do you know who John Paul Getty I was?
No.
Okay, he was an oil tycoon.
Okay.
He was dubbed the richest man in the country in 1957.
Ooh.
He developed a reputation for being a cheapskate.
Okay.
So he was very frugal with his money. But so he founded like the Getty Museum in LA, Getty Images, like all of these are...
I've heard of Getty Images.
Getty. Okay, so he was married 5 times.
Okay.
And had 5 children. And one of these children, John Paul Jr. had a son who, when he was 16 in 1973, disappeared.
Ooh, 16 years old.
So
okay.
he was only 16 years old and he disappeared. 2 days later, his mother received a ransom note asking for $17 million.
Oh, that's a nice chunk of change. He's only 16 though. I don't know if he's 17.
And this was in 1963.
Wow, that's
Imagine
a lot of money.
the equivalent of that money. Yeah, like unheard of. So, so she didn't have the money. Obviously, she was not the rich one.
Yeah.
But the Getty family was like, you know what? John Paul Getty III had actually said like that he would stage his own kidnapping in order to get money because his grandfather was so stingy with money.
I got you.
So they didn't take it seriously. So, so the money went unpaid. And then the kidnappers sent his mom a note that he had written that was like, mommy, please pay, whatever, so I don't get killed. And then, so John Paul Sr. Apparently refused and said, I have 14 other grandchildren. If I pay 1 penny, I'll have 14 kidnapped grandchildren.
He's not wrong. He is definitely not wrong.
Yeah, so he was actually held, and this happened in Italy.
Okay, this was in Italy.
Uh-huh.
Was he from Italy or was he in the States?
No. No, they're from the States. So, so he was held in the mountains of Calabria for months.
Months?
Months.
Wow.
Until they eventually cut his ear off.
Okay, it's just an ear? You got two?
And sent it in the mail.
Okay. That's a good move. That's a good move.
Sent it in the mail to a newspaper.
Why not to the house?
So, because they wanted them to be like...
They want the press to know.
Yeah, they wanted the press to know. So they sent a photo of him without the ear and the ear and a lock of hair. Yeah. So eventually the grandfather agreed to pay, but it was like a much reduced ransom. So
$17.
He finally paid around $3 million. And he only did it because he was told it would be tax deductible.
He's a businessman, man.
Can you believe that?
Hold on. How is paying a kidnapper, extortionist, blackmail, tax deductible?
I don't know.
Rich people are so smart with their money.
I don't know. But he was released in December of that year. So this had happened in July. He was released in December, and he was found in an abandoned gas station. He was held all
But he was
time.
fine. How long?
Well, he was fine, but
He lost an ear.
unfortunately, John Paul Getty III was sort of didn't have like a very smooth life after that. He was very essentially traumatized by the whole thing.
Well, he's just missing an ear.
Yeah.
That probably hurt too.
I'm sure it did. I can't imagine they used like
surgical
numbing
tools and
or-
numbing it. Yeah, I don't think they were
or
nice about
anything.
it. They were probably
Yeah.
very angry in that scenario too.
Yeah.
So
Okay, so the next one is Frank Sinatra Jr.
I didn't know about this one. Did not know. I knew
Did
who
not
Frank
know?
Sinatra is, but I did not know.
So Frank Sinatra Jr. at the time was 19, and he was just starting his own music career. And he was
Okay.
up in Lake Tahoe
Okay.
because he was doing gigs in Reno, at casinos and whatever, trying to break into the music business like his dad. So apparently he had been essentially tailed for a couple months by two men, Keenan and Amsler, who were actually his sister Nancy's classmates. So they
Okay.
were 23. They
I
were a little
gotcha.
older. But they were trailing him because they were like, if we kidnap this guy, we can get money out of Frank Sr., right? So they followed him up there. They went into his dressing room, and essentially he was there with another guy. They tied the other guy up, and then they put a bag over his head, and they kidnapped him and took him back to LA. He was actually, the friend had escaped from his bonds and called the police.
Okay.
So they had set up roadblocks, and they still got through the roadblock. They finagled their way through the.
Any
through
idea
the
how?
roadblock.
Did they put him in the trunk or put him in a seat?
They
or?
were smooth talking. They kind of talked their way out of it, and made it all the way back to LA.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So then it was the next day they had another guy that was like a co-conspirator who actually was the one that was facilitating the ransom for them. So, and he was a little bit older, and he called Frank and was like, we'll wait the kidnapper's instructions, blah, blah. So this was on December 8th. On December 10th, he passed along a demand for $240,000.
That's not that much.
No, I mean, back in that.
I mean,
in that
pocket
time,
change, pocket change. I ain't
Yeah,
gonna lie.
it's no 17 million.
Yeah, there's not.
So yeah. Anyway, so then Frank Sinatra was gathering money to give to the FBI. It photographed everything and was following the instructions to make the drop essentially on December 11th. So the next day. So while Keenan and Amsler went to go get the money, Irwin, who was the third conspirator, got nervous and let Frank Jr. go while the other guys were picking up the money. So he was found actually wandering around Bel Air after walking a few miles and alerting a security guard. So eventually the FBI did find the other two guys, and pretty much all the money was recovered from that. So very interesting story. I didn't know that Frank
I never knew that
Jr.
either.
was kidnapped.
Never knew that either. But I wonder why, if the guy would have just waited until they had the money. I guess they already had the money when they
Well, the two guys went to go get the money.
went to go get it, but did they have the money?
No.
Did they
didn't have
ever
it.
get the money?
They did get the money.
They did get the money.
They did get the
Okay.
money, but Irwin, the third guy, I guess, caved.
And it all started getting,
Yeah.
word getting out by the
Yeah.
time, they didn't have enough time to
Yeah,
get
and then he
settled
ended
in.
up confessing. And,
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. So that was.
You gotta stick to the lie. You gotta stick to the plan.
gotta follow through.
You gotta follow through. And if that plan don't work, if it's a bad plan, but if it's always someone that gotta mess it up.
All right, so the next one is Adolph Coors III, heir to Coors.
Okay.
The beer, right?
Okay.
So this was in February 9th of 1960. So apparently a milk truck came upon his station wagon, which was sort of like taking up space on this, on a bridge, right? So he was like honking, trying to get the station wagon to move. It wasn't moving, whatever. He got out of his milk truck, walked up to the car. Car was empty.
Okay.
Nobody in it, but there was blood.
Okay.
And so he alerted the authorities, and they discovered that that Mr. Coors was on his way to work that morning, never made it.
Okay.
His wife was like, I don't know where he is, you know, that kind of thing. So, and then apparently, but there was signs of a struggle, right? So apparently, Joseph Corbett Jr. was a fugitive who had escaped from a California prison, right? Planned the abduction so that he could extort $500,000 from the family.
Okay.
That was his big plan. There was a ransom note that was delivered to Coors' wife, and she was 100% on board with compliance of the instructions. No other communication was made.
Okay.
So they asked for the money.
That's it.
And then that was it. Didn't hear from them again. So the FBI launched one of the largest manhunts that they'd ever done to try to recover him. Obviously,
Really?
you know, very high profile, a lot of money involved. September 1960, 7 months later, hikers found his remains.
Obviously, 7 months.
So apparently he had been killed
the whole time. Yeah. So
pretty much during the abduction. So that's why no other.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's why he didn't end up following through on that. But they did find him. He was identified through evidence, including a typewriter that was used for the ransom note. So I
You
don't know
use a
how-
typewriter so they don't find you, then they find you for the typewriter.
Yeah, very interesting how they do that.
How do you think that went down? Did he escape like right at that moment, or was he escaped for like months and months before that moment happened? Was he like leaving the jail and needed a car and killed him?
That I don't know. I think
don't
it was quite a bit of time in there.
That's what I figured. He's just been escaped for a while.
Yeah.
He's been out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he needed a car. Royal somehow found this guy, or he hitchhiked or
No,
something.
he knew who he was.
He knew who he was the
planned,
whole time.
Yeah, he planned
to get
the
him
whole
on his way to
abduction.
work. Okay, I did miss that part. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
So he
he
did it, and
planned
then in
it.
the struggle, he probably killed him.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Right?
but you go with it. You go with it. If you escape prison for something, you probably did something bad. This is my theory. If you escape prison, you probably did something bad. And they catch you from escaping prison from you already doing something bad, you're not getting out again. So you might as well go ahead and try to get all the money and roll.
Yeah.
Even if you killed the guy by accident. That's my opinion of it.
All right. So the last one, and I want you to notice like a trend here. Charles Lindbergh Jr.
Rich people.
So it's either a junior or the third.
Yeah.
Right? So let this be a lesson. Do not name your kids and grandkids after you.
Yeah, well, if you have money. If you have money.
Right? So Charles Lindbergh Jr. was the 20-month-old of the famous aviator Charles Lindbergh.
I have a question. And I've always had this question, but now I get to ask it. Why is it that when people have babies, they don't just a year and a half old? Why is it gotta be, he's 168 months old? Like, when is the cutoff?
2 years.
Is that what?
Yeah.
From someone that has a baby, it's 2
Yes.
years. So he's
Had a
24
baby,
months,
yeah.
23 months old.
Yeah. If I were to still say Oliver's age, I don't even know how many months that would be.
1,647 months old. I completely made that up.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
he totally did.
But I'm just saying, like, so you can say 23 months, but you can't say 24 months old.
Yeah.
After that, it's
Yeah, that is 2 years.
You're
and then you
being
just
an
roll with that,
idiot.
2.5.
Well, yeah. Okay, I learned something.
So up
here.
until 2 years, yeah, you usually do it by
Is
month.
this like hospital
that's,
talk?
Yeah,
Really? That's why.
Yeah, that's more about-
Okay. So I didn't know that.
yeah.
What happens?
Because you're not a parent. That's
I know.
okay.
I am a parent.
Okay, so the 20-month-old son of Charles Lindbergh and his wife, Anne Morrow Lindbergh, was kidnapped March 1st, 1932 from his New Jersey home, and it was dubbed the crime of the century.
Ooh.
This was a huge deal because the Lindberghs were super famous. So his wife, Anne Morrow, was known for being one of the first women to get her gliding license.
Well, yeah, makes
And then
sense.
Charles Lindbergh had just done his infamous trip
Around the world.
transatlantic to Paris. So it was like big deal. So he was kidnapped from his home, in his nursery, everyone was home. Everyone was home. So it was like, how did somebody get in here and snatch up this baby from the house when there was a nanny there, parents there, etc.? Taken from the nursery, a ransom demand of $50,000. This is 1932.
Oh, okay. Put
This
it in
is
perspective.
1932.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's a lot.
It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
Very high profile, very famous people. So turns out that it was a German immigrant named Bruno Richard Hauptmann. He was arrested for it. So basically what happened was the baby was kidnapped on, what did I say, March 1st, 1932. Body was found May 12th. The baby was killed pretty much at the time that it was taken. Yeah.
Do they know if he killed it on purpose or accidentally
It was like
killed
a blunt force trauma to the head and buried out in the woods.
Oh, so he...
Like 4.5 miles from the house.
Oh, so he got it, went out and buried it, and then wanted money for it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, I mean, it's going to cry and everything. It's going to be hard to keep a baby.
Yeah. I feel like he didn't think it through.
No.
But he was arrested, convicted, and executed in 1936 after being linked to the ransom money. So, yeah, so it was remembered because it was like one of the first like intense media
Okay, because 1930s.
frenzies. Yeah, it was like a big, big deal. Super famous people, money, you know, it was a big, big media ordeal. So,
so did they ever explain how he got in, how he got the baby?
No.
He just, and that he planned it, or?
Yeah, it was all planned.
It's all planned. I want to go and steal and kill this baby and bury it in the woods.
Yeah.
Was that his whole plan? Do you know of any of that, or was it just the
that
fact?
I don't know.
Was it the fact of like I want to get this baby for ransom, and then
Yeah,
shit
it was
goes
like
haywire?
a super famous family, lots of money.
I get that. Yeah.
Like, you know, easy target. It's not like he's going to fight back. You know what I mean? So, but apparently back in the 1930s, when this happened, kidnappings and ransoms were so common that high-profile people often secured kidnapping insurance.
Wow.
You could get insurance for that.
I wonder how much you pay for that.
I don't know.
And what's that cover? What's the like a premium? You got to get the premium price of back in the $100,000 or $50,000. We're semi-famous, so I want the $25,000 kidnapping thing, and then they ask for 27, and you're screwed.
I don't know.
You got to negotiate down to 25, so insurance will cover it.
But I just think it was so interesting because you think like to me it's like a movie.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like you don't think it's real life. And maybe it's because we don't run in those circles. I don't know, but like it's just really interesting to watch all that go down. Like how do people think that they're gonna get away with things like this? And why do people do this?
Money.
I understand that, but I personally don't I can't comprehend someone's actual motivation to do things where they want to hurt other people in order to get money.
Well, that's a lot of, that's because there's a lot of people like that in the world. You're not like that, thank God. But there's a lot of people also that don't think they're ever going to hurt anybody. They really, I want to believe that a lot of these people have an idea of, it won't be that bad. We're just going to get these people. We'll get a young kid, he's 15, 16, 19, whatever. We'll hold him in this room and just bind him up. In a day or two, we'll have money to live off of for the rest of our lives. And no one will know because we got a good plan. Then when you're in the moment and you go to grab the kid and this little bastard can fight and he's yelling and shit's going and you got to make a decision and next thing you know, something went wrong and now he's missing an arm or is a murder charge.
Yeah. Well, I mean, regardless of whether it ends badly, like,
some of them.
Someone gets killed or whatnot, like when you take someone, you're hurting them. You're hurting their family.
100%.
So to me, it's all the same.
I see what you're saying. No, I'm not a thief in general. I'm not stealing a person in general. You know what I mean? So I understand that people want that, and a lot of people feel that rich people don't deserve their money, too. And they also, well, it's not fair. You have that much money. I should have some of that. I don't think of things that way, but some people do, and they want an easy way out because if you're working a 9-to-5 or you've had a hard life, and that seems like that, some people think that's the only option to get money. There was no justification for them kidnapping anybody hurting anybody. I'm just trying to see like what would make someone think that. I think a lot of it ends up being like, in the moment it happens,
I don't
What do
know.
you
Some
think?
of these seemed pretty
I know,
pre-planned.
that is so
They're
random.
Pre-planned.
They're old too, though, and I don't remember any like real recent, except for what's happening at the moment. Any recent ones of those. I do remember like the Madonna getting extorted, but she just didn't care.
No, that's blackmail.
That's blackmail,
People
but that's
get
the only
blackmail
thing
all
I
the time.
remember.
I'm talking about kidnapping. Like Patty Hearst, that was a big one. She was the heiress to Hearst Publishing. She was kidnapped, and then by a group that she ended up actually robbing a bank with them.
I remember hearing about that.
Yeah, and so it came down to like, did they brainwash her to join their group and that kind of thing, and that was like a whole thing. So that was
When was that?
That was like a runner-up. That was the 60s.
The 60s. But when was the last 2000s?
I don't know.
If you know any, let us know. If you know any reasons in the last 10, 20 years, we'll say from 1980 and up. Because I don't know of any.
Yeah.
And we're talking kidnappings for ransom of famous people, right?
Or wealthy families.
Or wealthy families or something like that. If you know any.
That received media attention.
Yeah, if you know any, let us know. Or something that's just underground that got swept under the rug too. Because some people might have not even really let anybody else know.
Yeah. But yeah, very interesting
That was awesome.
stuff.
I love those stories. I do. I love the interesting, crazy fact stuff.
Yeah, very interesting. Definitely. So, but we, again, like ongoing with Nancy Guthrie, and we hope that they find her and she was returned home safely, obviously. As time goes on, it's just,
First 48 hours, they say.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we'll see. Hopefully everything's good, but we all have our own predictions or assessments or however you want to say it, like whatever it is. So
yeah. So hopefully it works out, but thank you so much for joining us today. We hope it was somewhat entertaining and just a little bit of interesting facts from history.
Oh, I love it. I love these. These are great. And also let us know if you have anything we said. If you have anything else, any comments, any questions, anything you can touch on.
If there's any videos that you would like to see or anything you'd like to hear us talk about, please let us know. We would love to make a video.
Until next time.
Bye, guys.
We'll send you a ransom note.